Right, so we're gonna change it up. So I'm just gonna show you what the standard looks like. So this is clicking an item, you can see it just pops from below and like this. But if you kind of want to change this to something else, the code for this is not that big, so we're just gonna create it real fast here. We're going to assign the last button down here to go to page. That function we're going to be go to page. Parentheses and the curly brackets, and then we're good. Outside, not outside, inside this we're going to still have the this nav controller, and we're going to do a push still. So we're not going to go back to the front page, we're going to use the push like we did with the list. And in down here we're going to do a little bit more just in a little while. Before we do the push effect, we're going to create a const here, so kind of the same as the variables we already know. And in this, we're gonna name it animation options with an S. And we're going to set this to a object here, because we want more than one thing. So our our name of our constant or variable, and we're going to create an object, and in this object we're going to say the first one we want to change is the animation. And the next one we're going to do is, let's just do these, the apostrophes, and the last one in our case is just we want to do the duration, and that's just going to be like let's go 1500, so 1.5 seconds. So this is our duration and our animation, which we're just going to set to iOS transition. And this we're going to use in our push now. So like we had up here with set root, we can also, or up here with the push, we can also just inside this create and tell the system where do you want to push. We want to push to the recipe page, of course, not of course, but in our case, click it and then go to recipe page. And then we want to add a little bit more. We want to add these two, and so I don't write params, really important. I just did a comma and did the empty objects here, did comma after then the params and something the system writes, so you don't write it by yourself. And at the end we're gonna put the name in of our constant up here. So this one up here. So now we set once we do the push for our recipe page, we're also going to run the animation from it. So it's going to set in the 1500 milliseconds, so 1.5 seconds, and add a transition to it. So let's try to do this, go back to this, go to recipe page and go to page. So now you can see it transitions from the left, boop, like this, instead of having the more traditional one where we have to go to, let's go here, list, and just coming from the bottom. So if you want to change the animation for some reason, maybe you don't, you can change it by doing small things like this, and there are more than one way to do this, so from the other side and so on and so on. But that's just one way of starting to do a little bit more with the animations in Ionic, and that's kind of what I want to show you for this time. It was kind of a lot. So quick recap was setting up new Ionic, new project for mobile with Cordova, adding pages, adding links to them so we can link together, and adding different animations, like on the front page here. So once you click this, it's going wobbly. Let's just do that. Well, I don't want to do that for the menu, and so on and so on. And also static feed-ins with the keyframe. But that's what we want to cover for this time for the Ionic, for the new Ionic series here.